Welcome back to the fifth quarter sportscast. We had a little break, but we're back. Break down some week 11 action here. I'm Jared Judy. I'm here as usual with my buddy Todd Corley. How we doing today?
Oh, it's later in hell. It's fine though. It's good. I'm a
Yeah, it is.
consummate professional.
It's a little late, but hey, we'll get things taken care of and we'll wrap it up and we'll get on to Thanksgiving here. But we'll start things off with the poll of the week. We're a little bit past the midway point here, and for some teams, it kind of seems to be collapsing. Not quite living up to their preseason expectations here. So the poll is, at this point in the season, heading into week 12, which team is most likely to fall short of their preseason expectations? The options were Bills, Bengals, Vikings, and Seahawks. I kind of wanted to pick two AFC, two NFC teams. I almost kind of wanted to put the Chiefs in there because I don't feel like they're playing up to their potential. But I chose not to because they're actually leading their division. So I feel like even if they're not playing up to their potential, they're still leading the division right now. And the other four teams that I chose are currently not. Bills, Bengals, both at 33%, Seahawks at 34%. So basically we got similar votes across the board. I ended up going with the Bills solely because Bengals, they're obviously falling apart now because their quarterback's gone. Vikings, they kind of took a step back, but they had their starting quarterback. But now their starting quarterback's out, so that thing's kind of in shambles. The Seahawks, they've kind of been in shambles from the beginning. But the Bills were supposed to be targeted as, or penciled in at the beginning of the season as a prohibitive pencil them in playoff contender. And they look not like that at all. They're struggling. They're struggling to play defense. They're struggling to play offense. Josh Allen looks like a shell of what he's been in the past. So for me, I voted with Buffalo.
I cheers you, but I already popped mine. Anytime you've got a budget car rental lot, Latavius Murray calling players only meetings,
and he's a backup at the time.
It's not a good sign on a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. So I too, if I didn't want collusion to be called, I didn't vote for this poll. But my unofficial pick would be the Bills as well.
He's not even the starter, which kind of made me laugh. That a backup is calling for a players only meeting. that made me laugh.
Productive. Sadly, he's actually done more than James Cook.
Yeah,
but yeah. It's not pretty.
Man, I don't. They may not even win that division with the way they're playing currently. They better change some things and change it quick. But I don't know. There's a lot of teams that in the AFC that we've talked about this numerous times. It's a pretty stacked conference, so it's going to be a lot tougher to make the playoffs. They better pick it up because right now there's a lot of teams to contend, and a lot of those teams all seem to be in the same kind of boat. They're all struggling. So, but with that being said, we'll kind of break down some of the scores real quick here, kind of a rapid fire because we got a lot of stuff to get through here. But with one of those teams, the aforementioned struggling Bengals, we have Ravens taking down the Bengals 34-20. And with that being said, one of those teams struggling, Joe Burrow, done for the season. I think it was it wrist? I think it was his wrist, right?
Oh, yeah. It's toast. Unfortunately, it's on the same arm that's required to hold and throw the football.
Yeah. I feel like that's a hindrance being, as a quarterback. You probably want to be able to do those things. But, yeah, he's done for the year, so now we got Jake Browning taking over. But, I mean, let's be honest. They were struggling with Burrow, so I can't imagine they're going to be doing better without Burrow. But what do you think about the whole controversy and all this news around them non-disclosing that injury? Do you think there's any sediment to that, or do you think?
Oh yeah,
I
they're
don't know.
losing draft. They're losing a draft pick or two.
I mean, I've seen the video, but it's kind of hard to make out what exactly is going on. But it seems a bit suspicious. I will say that.
You can see Burrow with his
He's got like a little
hand in a
cast or
sling thing.
something. Yeah.
And then
Somebody said it was an iPad. I'm like, that's not an iPad.
you've got to be no. And then the Bengals X account deletes it.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it's not disclosed on the injury report. You're toast.
Yeah. Well, and it's obvious why they did it, because they knew he was their chance. It was the only chance they had, and it was a division rival, and they're already struggling as it is. But it definitely doesn't look good for him. I'll put that out there. It's not a good look. But regardless, I don't think that move helped their chances at all, and I definitely don't think it's going to help their chances moving forward if there's draft pick implications moving forward next year. I'm not buying much stock into this game, but the Packers hang on and take down the Chargers 23-20. The Chargers basically handed that game away. When I went back and looked at some highlights and some replays, basically Keenan Allen forgot how to catch the ball. Herbert played Herbert ball. But how long do we think the leash is for Staley? Like, is he done? I mean, his teams looked like garbage for how long now? Years. And there's all this hype around him that, Brandon Staley, Herbert, the Chargers. And they constantly run into a brick wall every year. Like, it's the same thing every year. Oh, my God. Did you see him? Did you watch that game? Or see highlights of it at least?
I did see a bunch. Yep.
He looked slow. He looked very slow. I don't know if he's still dealing with injuries or what, but Eckler did not look explosive. He looked very slow. There's that one run where he busted it down the sideline, and I'm like, he's going to cut it loose. And then he never cut it loose, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's running like a fullback.
Yeah, Staley got a little touchy there at the end in the old press conference there, too.
I mean, I did see that. I don't.
Tensions are high.
I just don't understand it, because
Los Angeles.
This isn't anything different than he's done in the last how many years? So how much longer can this leash be? I mean,
yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah, I don't see how.
I don't care. I don't live in California.
No, I don't see how he's there, because nothing's changed. But
nope. Chargers are all hyped. They're overrated, underwhelming, garbage.
Overhyped and underperforming, as their calling card is typically. But moving on, Jags, Titans, Jaguars 34, Titans 14. They get the win there.
Lawrence showed up.
He did. He had a pretty good game. I can't say the same for Will Levis and the Titans, but
week 10, I'll tell you that.
Yes,
right.
True. Yes, Giants. The Jersey boy himself, DeVito.
Italian stallion. Holy Guido. Holy
shit. Took down the Commanders 31-19. We got the Dolphins taking down the Raiders 2013. Closer than I would have expected. Texans taking down the Cardinals 21-16. The one that shocked me was, and I caught bits and pieces of it here, Lions and the Bears.
Money on the Raiders there. I looked at the public money on the Raiders, and I took the points.
Oh, really?
That paid off nicely. Here's
what was the spread?
All you listeners out there, I think it was like 14.5. It was crazy, stupid high
for that game. Wow.
Yeah, for the Dolphins Raiders.
Jeez.
Yeah, for you Joe Public out there, anytime you see more than 75% of the money on a team or a spread, go against Joe Public, because you'll win every time. If it's more than 75, 78% money is on a certain side, flip it. Vegas
They
does
obviously,
not like to lose.
I was going to say, Vegas obviously knows something at that point. But yeah, even though, I mean, even if you don't look at the where the money's at, you said it was 14 or 14 and a half or something.
I was getting 14.5 with Vegas.
That is just a crazy spread to begin with.
Like that's on. Well,
yeah.
Everybody knows everybody was taking it. Everybody was taking the Dolphins to cover.
I still wouldn't take it, even with the Dolphins. Like that's a lot of points for a professional football game. That's a lot.
If anybody's going to do it, Dolphins are the team to do it. I didn't give a shit about. Honestly, I didn't care. It could have been. Oh my god! As soon as I saw that, I honestly think when I looked at it, I think it was like 80% of the public money was on the Dolphins to cover. As soon as I saw that, it could have been 3 points, and I wouldn't have given a shit. I was taking the Raiders.
Yeah, well, paid off.
That's right. Kept my fucking DraftKings alive, I'll tell you that.
I don't know what the spread was for this game, but just running a pick'em league, I definitely wouldn't have picked this one. But the Lions, they had a little bit of a scare with the Bears and the Lions. Lions do get the win, 31-26, but the way that game was going, it seemed like the Bears were rolling and they were going to take the Lions down. Now, granted, is that just the resurgence of Fields, or was that just the Lions just, playing with their food per se and just kind of dicking around and, just letting them hang around just to later, put the hammer down? I don't know. We've all seen the Bears play. They're not that good. But I did not expect the Lions to almost get beat, though.
Division game, man. It's tough. Fields looked good. He did it over 100 yards rushing. No picks. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad for first back.
Foreman got hurt. Deontay Foreman got hurt in this game too. Otherwise,
I did.
It may have been
yeah, I did see that.
Gone a different direction there. I like the Lions. I like how the NFL's gone back to like the 50s and 60s here, where we got the Lions and Browns up on top. I like that.
Well, there's an interesting stat that I saw. We'll get to here after this next game. It's kind of interesting. I didn't actually know that until I saw it. But speaking of division games and throwbacks, next game we got Steelers and Browns, 13-10. Typical AFC North sludge match. Yeah, exactly. What you want in that is to take the under, and you hope you have a field goal kicker playing for fantasy in that game, because that's what it's going to be, a lot of kicking. But
way under the under.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not really surprised per se, but I will say I am kind of surprised at how well Cleveland is still doing with basically the quarterback carousel situation they've had, and Chubb's been down for over half the season already.
Oh my god!
They're still hanging in and knocking these. Yeah. They're still knocking these games out. So, I mean, props to them.
No Chubb, no Conklin, no Watson. 3 different starting quarterbacks, and the team is 7-3.
When's the last time that's happened?
Couldn't tell you. Never. 3 different starting quarterbacks. Kevin Stefanski should get a fucking statue.
So the stat that I guess the little trivia tidbit I saw in regards to the Lions and the Browns, and I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you probably did. A couple days ago, Adam Schefter posted on X or Twitter, or whatever we're calling it. It said, for the first time since 1969, the Lions and Browns have each won 7 of their first 10 games. That to me was mind blowing in itself. But then he continues, the last time this happened, the Jets were the defending Super Bowl champions. Bill Belichick was a senior at Annapolis High School in Maryland, and Apollo 11 just landed on the moon. That's mind blowing. how long
I mean, we
that's
can all
been.
agree that Apollo 11 actually never landed on the moon. It was
Well,
staged, but
whether it did or didn't, it's been a
it was a
long
long
fucking
time.
time since these
It's been a
teams have
long
been
time.
relevant. I read that and
Moon
I'm like,
landings
oh.
were faked, but the Browns were real.
So we got that perspective. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, holy crap, that definitely puts things in perspective. It's been a long time. Long freaking time. Wow. But hey, props to them. They're getting it done.
That's right.
But
Cheers
to
to them.
true to continue here, a team that's not getting it done is the Panthers. They still suck. They fall to the Cowboys 33-10.
Yeah.
Who
Oh.
let's play a little roulette here. Who gets shit canned first, Frank Reich or Staley? I mean, they basically have the same team.
God.
Well, okay, how are they
It's
both
hard
still
to say.
employed? How are they both still
Staley.
employed?
I
Is that a
still
better
think it's
question?
Staley. I mean, if it's do we each get Rochambeau'd if they get fired on the same day?
If we both win.
I mean, technically.
Do you think either one of them?
It should be the Panthers because they're on the East Coast. LA's it's like 3 hours behind. They could technically both get fired at the same time.
Do you think?
However, Staley officially gets fired 3 hours later.
Do you think they both make it through the season?
No. Yes.
I mean, at this point,
yes.
What do you have to lose?
Season, yes.
I honestly didn't think Frank Reich would last that long with the way that whole operation's been and the way that coaching carousel's been over there. But at this point, we're going into week 12. What do you can't talk to any college coaches anyway right now because they're still in playing season. And if you're looking to get another NFL coach, you can't talk to them either. So what's the point of ditching it now?
Yeah, my thing is like the Panthers were bad last year. I mean, you get the top pick, whatever. You draft somebody who's 5'4", quarterback. I mean, that's your own fault. That's on you. If you're drafting a quarterback who makes Baker Mayfield look like fucking Shaquille O'Neal, you got a real problem. That's my issue. You're setting yourself up for failure at that point. I don't have a lot of sympathy for you, but I don't know, man. Carolina's trash. They're hot trash. They're Indian food diaper shit wrapped in cat feces. I don't know, man.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of analogies I did not see coming.
They're just not good at football, which is problematic when you're paid to play football.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being not good at football and being paid to play football, we got the aforementioned Baker Mayfield with the Buccaneers falling to the 49ers 27-14. I think it's safe to say the Buccaneers are not going to do a whole lot this year with Baker. But then again, that whole division is kind of sketchy at best.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously Carolina is the odd man out, but then it's like a three-way tie for first with the other three.
Watch it be one of the I don't know, man. Watch it be one of those years where like somehow the Buccaneers turn out to be like the Seahawks
hosting a game at 7-9.
They got a losing record. They're hosting the playoffs. The Pirate ships are shooting off the fucking cannons.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're beating the goddamn Eagles, and they're in the NFC Championship, and they're going to the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield's hoisting the Lombardi. Oh my God! Holy shit! Watch it be Baker Mayfield versus Dorian Thompson Robinson in the goddamn Super Bowl, and fucking Baker Mayfield pulls some trick out of his ass, and he plants a goddamn Buccaneers flag at the center of the fucking Super Bowl, like he planted that stupid Sooner flag in Columbus.
Tried to. It was turf.
It's turf, but that motherfucker still did. He made a dent. I'll tell you that. That little fucker. Yeah. His little muffin hands. I can't believe he held onto the flag that long. That's the way this season.
He hung onto the flag longer than he hangs onto the football.
If you're listening out there, put a couple bucks on the Bucks winning.
Well, Speaking of Seahawks and dumpsters, Rams, for as bad as they look, they take down the Seahawks 17-16. I didn't watch that game, but from the box score, it looked like it was riveting. 17-16. Ah, fantastic.
What a pile of shit. You got Drew Lock in there, quarterback for the Seahawks there at the end of the game. Rams just waived Darrell Henderson.
I did see that. Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
That worked
that guy
out.
Was a goddamn stuff. Although, in fairness, it's usually not a good omen if you're running the ball.
Yeah.
If you're running the ball six times for 1 yard.
It's probably not good for your long-term employment.
Dude,
I'll put it that way.
You made Trent Richardson look like a goddamn Hall of Famer.
That's true.
Six carries for 1 yard. You're averaging 0.2 yards per carry. Jesus Christ.
I feel like that's bad.
It's not good for business.
Well, speaking of bad, continuing here, the Buffalo Bills do kind of get a great get-right game, taking down the Jets 32-6. And Zach Wilson had a hard time trying to stay on the field.
He couldn't stand his feet.
God damn it! You didn't even let me finish. I was to say he had a hard time staying on the field, and he got benched. But before he got benched, he couldn't even stand up straight. So yeah, they did him a favor and just told him just sit this one out. And they put the backup Tim Boyle at the third stringer in and let him try to take his shot at it. Yeah, I saw the highlight and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, seriously, you have that lack of athleticism. You can't even backpedal without falling down. Like, oh God, come on, seriously.
Kid's handsome. I don't know what to tell you.
That's all he's got going for him because it definitely ain't any kind of football athleticism.
Yeah, boyish good looks.
What?
All the
the Jets defense have to be pissed because they're in the exact same situation as they were last year with him running the show, running that team into the ground, and them holding their ground for a lot of the season, and then him come out and then the reporters say, do you feel like you let the team, the defense down? No. Like we're at that point all over again. And here at the and at the beginning of the season, the Jets, we're going to the Super Bowl. 4 plays in, oh my God, we lost the Super Bowl. We're done. The season's lost. Like their hopes and dreams went out the window with 4 plays into the first start of the season.
It might be for the best because there's a lot of talk of old number 8 out there trying to get back. Well, at least there was.
But even if, but that they're going to have to, I would think it would have to even be something worthwhile to play for because if you're,
that's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. They're straight trash. This is for the best.
He's going to tear the other Achilles.
The Jets tanking. Let's not try to defeat science. We all know. I am a big Aaron Rodgers believer now. He's really shown me something. He's got some sound philosophies, but let's let that Achilles rest, buddy. Don't go back to that offense. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, do you think Hackett's there next year? Because they're calling for his head again. I think if Rodgers is there, he's there. If Rodgers for some reason retires, he's gone. His ass is out the door. The only reason that's what I was going to say. The only reason Hackett's job could be secure is if Rodgers is there. If he retires, Hackett's on the next plane out.
Hackett's not out there fucking throwing to himself or trying to. It's not.
But he doesn't have a good. No, but he doesn't have a good resume coming from Denver either. People wanted him out at Denver either. Not granted, he had a shitty ass offense at Denver, but it's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, there's already people calling for him now. But he wasn't at New York last year, and they look like this last year. What's the constant denominator? The pretty boy.
People have been calling for Matt Canada for the whole fucking season, and he never mind. That's not where I want to go with that.
Well, with that being said, let's move on to the next one here. We got the Broncos. Speaking of them, a 1 point win over the Vikings. I don't really know what this Vikings team or what the Broncos team is. Like they came out, they look like straight trash, and then they've strung together 3 or 4 wins.
Listen, all we got to do is get Denver in prime time, because
Oh
the only
God.
thing my prime time PM schedule on a weekly basis is missing is Dangerous Wilson. Baby. Woo!
Could do without that. Yeah. No, thank
Dude.
you. Hard pass.
No, you need it in your life. You need
Yeah.
you some Russell Wilson. God damn it, you need Russell Wilson. This
Yeah.
country needs Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we need Russell Wilson, all right.
Is it a coincidence that once Denver starts winning, like Hamas and whoever starts negotiating and they start giving up, like
that's a far stretch. Man, that's a far stretch. You're really putting your eggs in that basket.
I'm telling you. Listen, I ain't never seen Lois? No. I ain't never seen fucking Superman and fucking what the hell's that guy's name? The real name? The Clark Kent? Yeah, that guy. I ain't never seen Clark Kent and fucking Superman in the same room together.
You call him Lois?
Yeah, it could have been Lois.
What is it? The transgender version of Superman?
In 2023 in Joe Biden's America, that motherfucker can call himself anything he wants. All I'm saying is,
I didn't realize Superman had 3 aliases: Superman and Clark Kent and Lois.
man,
a lot of gender identity issues.
Lois Lane, changing lanes, fucking Ben Affleck, fucking Batman, Superman. I'm bringing this shit around 380. We're going to full circle plus 20 degrees. All I'm saying is all I'm saying, listen. All I'm saying, God damn you. All I'm saying is Broncos start winning, Hamas starts fucking trading fucking hostages. Russ Wilson.
So you're saying it's all because of Russell Wilson?
I'm not saying it isn't.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, mark that shit. You know what's gonna be real goddamn funny? When y'all motherfuckers laughing out there talking about fuck, and I'm one of them. I hate Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, but you watch your ass, because you guys all got these goddamn State Farm commercials with your Golden Boys, Mahado and fucking Mahomes and shit, and then all of a sudden Baker Mayfield swoops in. Next thing you know, he's playing Denver in the Super Bowl, and you got Ciara sitting in a booth with Roger Goodell, giddying it up, laughing it up. I'm telling you right now, Denver, Tampa Bay, you might want to start buying some T-shirts.
That might be the game where the halftime show actually is better than the game itself.
Not when I'm betting. I'm taking them both right now. I'm taking 100 Swiss points.
Well, since we're on the game, what's your thoughts on Kareem Jackson? He gets suspended again for another quote-unquote dirty hit, unsportsmanlike. Do you feel like they're just targeting him because he's got a history, or do you think it was a legit hit? Because I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlight. It seemed a little unnecessary. It seemed like he led with the head to the head of Josh Dobbs, but then again, he also was a runner at that situation. He wasn't a quarterback. So I don't know.
After the first couple plays, I'm like, oh man, that's just football. But that dude's stupid. He's just dumb. Like, and they can they can make an example out of him.
And that's what they're doing.
I'm done with that bullshit.
That's what they're doing.
He's just stupid. He could have done himself a favor, but he chose violence. He woke up and chose violence.
Like I said, I didn't watch the whole game. I saw the play, and I mean everything looks more violent when you slow it down. So I can't say one way or the other. But then when you look at the highlight, he does bring it down. He's now a runner, so he's not protected as a quarterback. But still, man, you gotta not lead with your head, and that seems to be the calling card for him lately. I don't know. But either way, he did get suspended again. We'll see. I'm sure he'll appeal it, and we'll see how that plays out. But the last game we got here is the Eagles and the Chiefs Monday night. Eagles take down the Chiefs 21-17. I think the thing that I took away from that, and everybody was kind of talking about it, do you think we'll ever see somebody pull off that Jalen Carter attempt at a pick for the snap or the spike? Did you see that?
No, I actually didn't see it.
You didn't see that?
No, I think the kids commandeered the TV on Sunday night.
So, Mahomes, I think it was towards the end of the first half. Mahomes, went to go spike the ball to get into the playoff, and he spiked the ball. And just as he took a step back to spike it, Jalen Carter dove through the center's legs with his hands extended, trying to catch the spike that Mahomes threw down. Like he was trying to intercept it, like an intercepted pass. But he dove through the center's legs to try to get it. It was one of the funniest things I've seen. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But the fact that he pulled that off, and somebody, I guess, interviewed him at the end of the game, was like, where did that even come from? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I saw it on YouTube.
Like, oh, I see it. Yeah.
What?
We're seeing it work on YouTube. Try to intercept spike.
But I mean, if he would have pulled that off, though, that would have been something. It was like, what the hell? What? He intercepted a spike? What the hell? Like,
not a bad idea. You know it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. And so they were talking about that on ESPN the last couple of days. Like, just watch if you start seeing, especially with, we're taping this Wednesday night, Thursday morning, technically, of Thanksgiving. Watch the Thanksgiving games. If you see anybody, where they go to spike the ball, do they tend to take 2 or 3 steps back and then spike it behind them now versus in front of them to prevent that? Like, how much of an impact is that going to be? I don't know. I just thought it was funny. That was one of the things I saw, and I was kind of laughing because I'm like, I've never seen that. It was interesting.
Not a bad idea.
But we will move here to some of the breaking news. Some of the stuff was from last week when we were off. Some of the stuff was from this week. We already covered Joe Burrow being done for the season with the wrist injury. Deshaun Watson, he's done for the season officially, but he was kind of unofficially done anyway. He didn't play much. But he had a shoulder injury, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's done for the year.
Happened.
Yeah, thank you for the paycheck. Colts, they release Darius Leonard, Shaq Leonard, whatever he wants to be called now these days.
All the Leonards.
I'm kind of shocked that they let him go because he's still got a pretty hefty contract. But
yeah, he wasn't playing very much, so that DC left town.
Well, that's what they said. He was having a hard time trying to fit into the scheme, I guess. But was it Chicago? Was Eberflus, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know if Chicago would pick him up because they already went after Montez Sweat, so I don't know that they would pick him up. But
you're the Bears fan, I don't know.
Yeah, not even close. But we did see that he did clear waivers, so he's a free agent to go wherever he wants. But it would just be, typical for him to go to some place that's obviously going to be a contender. Otherwise, you wouldn't waste your time. So, but yeah, I'm still kind of shocked they let him go after they're still paying him a pretty penny. But Mike Thomas, he went to the IR. He's been on a downward trajectory for the last year or so, ever since he kind of didn't take the chance to get the surgery that he needed when he needed it. And he's kind of been trending down for quite some time now, but regardless, he's on the IR. So that's another weapon that New Orleans doesn't have. We touched base with the Ravens and the Bengals earlier, along with Joe Burrow. Mark Andrews is done for the season as well with an ankle injury. I didn't really see. I mean, I saw the play, but it just seemed like it was another one of those things. I know that's kind of hot topic, I guess, right now for the flavor of the month. The hip drop tackling. It just looked like his leg got pinned up underneath the guy when he dropped. I don't know. I don't know how you get rid of that. I mean, basically, you tell the guy to just run through the guy. The whole point of the defense is to prevent the guy from getting yards. So if you don't hip drop, you're going to give the guy extra yards. I don't know how you stop it, to be honest. But regardless, that's how he gets injured. We had a couple coaching changes here, as you mentioned earlier, with Matt Canada, and basically the entire country of Steelers fans and Steelers Nation have been calling for his job for the last 2 to 3 years, if not longer. I don't know how long he's been there. Tomlin finally obliged and let go Matt Canada. And then I think it was last week, Buffalo cut ties with Ken Dorsey as their offensive coordinator. So we'll see how that impacts their offenses for those teams. They've been kind of struggling, to say the least, so far this season. So we'll see if that gets them back on track. I can't imagine it's going to help them, but we'll see. Did you catch? I'm sure you probably have either heard about it or seen it. I think it was with Stephen A. Smith, the interview with Brady. I don't know.
Probably not. I avoid that at all costs.
I don't like either one of them, but it was interesting. They were talking about it on ESPN this morning. I forget I don't know how it came up, but I heard the interview, like the most important snippet part. Stephen A. asked Brady about his thoughts on the state of the NFL and the talent pool.
I saw his response.
Yeah. So they're talking about that.
The Stephen A.
Yeah. So basically, he said for more, I'm not to put words in his mouth, but basically, more or less, he hates this generation's version of football. Yeah. It's soft. It's the rules have basically created a lot of bad habits. It's basically equaled out the playing field and has allowed less talented players to hide their flaws behind flags and penalties. And so the less athletic are basically getting the benefit of the doubt. They're not requiring them to be at the top of their game because they're playing within the rules.
Poor fundamentals.
Exactly. And you're basically band-aiding these mistakes, which is why, in my opinion, guys like Trevor Siemian, Baker Mayfield, guys like that are still in the league. When you can't hit anybody and there's a strike zone the size of, a shoe, you got a foot by foot square that you can hit somebody. You can't touch the quarterback basically at any time. You're kind of handcuffing the defense more or less. And it's an offensive game, which is what the league wants, because points bring eyeballs and eyeballs bring money. And that's what they want. But even Brady himself had said it's not up to the offense or the defensive guys to protect the offense. It's for the offense to protect their own guys as well. And I thought it was kind of interesting how he said, guys like Ronnie Lott and Rodney Harrison and James Harrison and Ray Lewis, he said, there's a reason why when we played those guys, I wouldn't throw certain routes across the middle. Nope. Because if they hit them, they're going to hit hard and they're going to give everything they can with that play. There's a chance you're going to lead your guy and your guy's going to get taken out for the game, and you can't afford to lose that weapon. So you avoid that play or you avoid that part of the field because you know it's a detriment. Whereas now, these guys just do it because they know a flag's coming and it's a free 15 yards. Like, I put that right up there with these quarterbacks, and me being a Packers fan, I'll put Jordan Love in this camp. And it drives me nuts. Some of these quarterbacks can't throw the 60, 70, 80-yard balls. They can't. They don't have the arm. It blows me away when these quarterbacks throw a 30-yard pass and the receiver's running a 50-yard route, and then he has to come back because the quarterback isn't strong enough to get the ball there, so the receiver runs into the defender, and then they get flagged for defensive pass interference. It's not defensive pass interference. It's the fact that he had to come back to the ball, and your quarterback doesn't have a strong enough arm. That's not pass interference. It's your offense is inept. I put that right up there with sure, it's not the route I was going to go, but sure, we can put that up there with that. I was going to go more or less the lines of you're basically playing recess football, standing there, and the quarterback's got the ball, and you're 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay, now I can rush. Like, no, we're not playing flag football here. We're not playing recess ball. Like, I'm coming the second that ball moves. So you better get it out of your hands or you're getting hit. Like, I just don't know why we're pacifying this. And yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like flag football. And we've talked about this before offline. We've talked about it in various episodes. This league now is not the same as it was when we were growing up. I mean,
No.
even 5-10 years ago, even guys like
close.
James Harrison, Vontez Burfict, those guys, that's just one division. They would have taken Ray Lewis at the same division, like Terrell Suggs, Ray Maluga. I mean, those guys would take your head off and not think a second later. Those guys, I don't even know how they play now. I don't know how they play because they can't have that much of an impact on the game. They're handcuffed. Like, you can only hit so much.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to play today's game. They'd be getting fined. Their fines would exceed a game check.
100%. It wouldn't even be worth them playing. But I will say,
was close when he was playing.
Yeah,
shit, he contemplated retirement sooner.
Well, and it kind of made me laugh because on the McAfee show, I don't know what day it is. I don't pay attention, but they have J.J. Watt on there every week, and they talk to him, and he's just all up in arms, about all these bullshit flags and stupid penalties and all this crap as well. And I didn't realize it, but I forget how it is, but it's like his brother-in-law by marriage or whatever is Brian Cushing. And they were talking about being back in Houston and Cushing and all that. Can you imagine Cushing and Ray Maluga playing in this league right now at their prime? Like, that Brian Cushing, I just remember every time I've seen him, he had a face full of blood. Like, that guy was smashing his head on everything. Like, there's no way he would last right now.
Yeah, usually he's actually that's against the Browns. The helmet off, fucking headbutting other people with their helmet on. That is not normal.
Yeah.
He was fun to watch. I remember him at USC. He was a bad dude, though. Maluga, I remember him at USC.
Who else was there with them? It was
pros, though.
It was Maluga. It was Maluga, Cushing, and who else? There was another linebacker.
Clay Matthews.
Was that the third one? I didn't know. I thought that Clay might have been before them.
Yeah, Clay Matthews was there with them.
Man, they had a hell of a linebacking crew. That's for sure.
Yeah, Taylor Mays, who also didn't do anything in the NFL. But
did Maluga play with anybody else other than Cincy?
I remember thinking he was going to be like the next like Ray Lewis, and
I thought he was going to be Cincy's version of Polamalu with that long ass hair and whatever, and he never really panned out.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if it was injuries or what, but
yeah. Well, with those type of guys and having that type of talent in the draft stock, that's usually the thing that knocks them out of the league is injury histories. But we will wrap up this one with the announcement. I'm sure you probably heard about it, that after quite some time, Jimmy Johnson is finally getting into the Dallas Ring of Honor in 1923. So congratulations to him.
Woo! Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I saw it. Yeah.
1923. Congratulations.
Fucking keeper giving him the goddamn fucking green
Well,
light on
did you
that.
hear Jimmy? Did you hear Jimmy's response? He goes, "Well, I hope it's in 2023." Well, what I say? Oh, God.
Yep.
Jimmy, turn it over. It just start it over already. You don't even know what year it is.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know when they're doing it. I think they said at the end of the year. It's like December something, December 30th or whatever their game is probably. But
God bless him. Jerry Jones is old as fuck.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. But hey, he's still kicking, so at least he got to enjoy the Hall of Fame and now the Ring of Honor. But
cheers to you, buddy.
Yeah.
My cans is dry as zero.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He ruined my childhood. I saw too much of the freaking Cowboys when I was younger. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't. Do you have anything else? You want to take a look at any of the games?
We could. There's actually, we got what, 3 tomorrow, and then we got 1 on Friday.
Yeah. So all right, we'll run through them real quick. Not looking at any necessarily player props, just looking at the main 3 spread over under money line. First game tomorrow, we got Green Bay at Detroit. Current spread is Detroit -7. Over under 45.5. What are you thinking?
Green Bay.
Money line?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Think about that. Shit, put some money on that.
That's interesting.
Put some money on that, would you?
I may take.
Damn.
I would probably take the under if I was going to take one. And the only reason I would say that is because I think Detroit's going to do all the scoring. I don't think Green Bay is going to do a whole lot with, their backup practice squad team since everybody's hurt. I don't think they're going to have a lot of points. So I think it'll be lower scoring, and I think it'll be all Detroit doing the scoring. So if I was doing one, I'd probably take the under. We got Dallas and Washington, the early afternoon or late afternoon game, I guess. Current is Dallas 10.5, over under 46 points.
The current, man, your lines might be different.
I'm looking at sports.
I got it.
I'm looking at sports. I was gonna say I'm looking at sports line right now.
13.5.
13.5 is crazy.
It opened at 10.5.
Maybe that's what it is then. Yeah, I'm looking at Score Mobile now, and it's changed 13.5.
Man,
13.5 is a giant spread.
If you're giving me almost 2 touchdowns, shit, I might take Washington in the points on that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money going on Dallas.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, baby.
I know I was
Washington. Give me Washington in the points.
I know some books and some other places I've seen they were doing a money line parlay with the Lions, Dallas, and 49ers. Do you foresee any potential upsets, or do you think the favorites knock it out?
I think Green. Oh, I already got money on Green Bay. I'd take Washington in the points. I think Dallas should win. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I don't see them covering that. And
we got 49ers, Seahawks, 49ers 7 points, and over under 44.5.
Seattle again. Let's do Seattle. I'm taking
Money
two
line?
dogs. I'm taking 2 dogs.
All right.
Mark it.
I think the favorites are the easy picks, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking the dogs.
But I would probably.
I'm taking dogs.
I don't know.
I would. How much money is going to be on San Fran? The kind of money that's going to be on San Fran. There's going to be like San Fran versus Cleveland.
There's going to be so much. There's going to be so much money on Dallas and San Fran. I don't know about. There's going to be a lot of money on Detroit, but I think it's going to be more so Dallas and San Fran. The only thing I think for Detroit and Green Bay is, for some reason, if they decide they just want to run the ball because they know Packers' run defense is horrible, it could be a low-scoring game. They may not cover the spread. That would be my only concern. But I think they would.
Dallas sure is fucking covering that. There's no way they're winning by 2 touchdowns. No, it ain't happening.
No, especially with it being a divisional game.
Seattle opened at 6, +6. Now it's at +7. Oh man, I like Seattle.
Yeah.
Gino, you did it. I don't even know if I don't even know if he's playing. Is he still? I take Seattle. I don't even give a shit. I'm going money. I'm taking Seattle.
So you got Packers, Seattle money line, and then Commanders points. Not bad. We'll see how they fare. Friday, we got
Black
Dolphins and the Jets. We got the Dolphins.
High school matchup of the week.
Yeah. We got the Dolphins 9.5 over under 40.5.
You're gonna make me have to be the asshole.
I feel
you
like
know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen.
I feel like this is gonna be a lot closer than people would expect it to be.
It's gonna be a hell of a lot closer than what I'm about to tell you.
People are expecting the Dolphins to just put up like a 40-point game on the Jets. I don't think the Jets are going to do a lot of scoring, but I think the defense is going to hold them in check, though. So I think it's going to be a lot closer.
You know what? New quarterback, New York Jets. Straight up money line Jets.
Wow.
I got 3 dogs. I got 3 dogs in a point spread of America's team here. Yep, 3 dogs.
Interesting.
You know what? How much would the parlay on that be? Holy shit!
It'd be worth a couple bucks.
Dude, I swear to God, you might never hear from me again if this fucking parlay hits. I'm about to drop this one.
I see the Dolphins winning. I see the Dolphins winning, but I don't see them covering. I can see them winning by like 5.
I'm parlaying this. Watch this. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna lose your mind. This is happening. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Watch this. Holy shit! If this hits, boom. I'm putting 50 on it.
What's the odds?
Plus 13,178.
Oh, okay. So there's a good chance.
I'm putting. If I put $50 on it, it pays out $6,589.
Oh, why stop at 50?
I mean, I might do it, Jared.
All right. Well, you do you. We'll see. We'll revisit this next week and see how that pans out. But if you're interested, and if you're listening to this podcast, either you have nothing better to do, or you're obviously actually interested in football. You got the Packers, Lions, 12:30, Commanders, Cowboys, 4:30, 49ers, Seahawks, 8:20 tomorrow. And then Friday, Black Friday, we got the Jets, Dolphins at 3:00. So go enjoy the Thanksgiving, enjoy the good food, family, friends, all that fun stuff. Go catch some football, go put some bets in, go make some money. But yeah, I think that'll wrap up this episode here on the Fifth Quarter Sportscast. Download, rate, subscribe, review, all that fun stuff. If you want to interact with us on the socials, Fifth Q Sportscast, 5THQ Sportscast. Go enjoy the food, go enjoy some games, go make some bets, go have some fun. And yeah, we'll catch you guys here next week. We'll break down some week 11 action, and we'll see how Todd's bet fared.
You know what would make me happy? Another couple of balls and the extra set of fingers.